Alright. So this is already old news, but since this is a discussion, there's always some new stuff that we can speculate about. So if you haven't been living under a rock for the past week, there's new stuff that has been determined in the PTR for the coming patch 7.3 that will take place on Sargeras, the Eredar homeworld. On my previous video, I discussed that what we could probably find on this next patch, and what we would probably fight, and that we would probably fight Sargeras by the end of this expansion. Well, if we're going to fight the Dark Titan or not, it still isn't confirmed. There's some text regarding that fact that we seal Sargeras with Illidan as his jailer, and but that still isn't it still isn't confirmed how we will actually do that. Let's hope that it's an epic boss fight. So, but after reading the datamine notes, it makes even more sense now that we will actually that Sargeras will manifest himself at the end of this expansion, and the allied forces of Azeroth will put a stop to him. So, first of all, there's a new dungeon, the Seat of the Triumvirate, which is probably where the Council, where the Great Three, Velen, Archimonde, and Gil'jaeden reunited, or how do I put it? Like an assembly, an assembly, where they took matters for their own race and they led them from there. And then we have a new raid, which is called Antorus, the Burning Throne. So I knew Blizzard could pull a lot of stuff up, since not much is known about Argus, not even much of how it was, and barely anything of how it is now. And more importantly, we'll be facing two titans. Actually, it's three, but two of them are on their titanic shape, or humanoid form, as you may call it. So, or what's actually left of their physical form. So we have Ionar, the one who bestowed their powers upon Freya, a keeper of Ulduar, who in turn also bestowed their powers on Alexstrasza, who took the title of her master's master, the Lifebinder. We can probably be looking at fell-infused plants, if such a thing even makes sense. And then we have Agramar, Sargeras' apprentice, who was supposedly killed eons ago when Sargeras turned to madness. He was a warrior who preferred hand-to-hand combat, so we're probably looking at a boss capable of delivering huge blows across the design area for the encounter. There are a lot more bosses, but the other relevant one is very Antorus, the Netherrazim the Horde fought during the siege of the Undercity back in Breath of the Lich King, while the Alliance fought against Grand Apothecary Putras. He was Antorus was previously Sylvanas' second in command and helped her reach the status of Queen of Lordaeron, by betraying his brothers. So he supposedly killed Deathrock and Balnazar, his brothers. So I was honestly hoping for a council fight here, but it seems that it's very Antorus alone. These Dreadlords, before Sylvanas regained their free will from the Lich King, these three Dreadlords were in command of the Scourge right after Arthas succeeded in summoning Archimonde during the Third War. So the heels or the reins of the Scourge were passed to these three Dreadlords, and then Arthas and Sylvanas rebelled, and they were these Dreadlords lost command. Arthas moved to Northrend to be the one, or to be one with the Lich King, and Sylvanas freed, she actually freed the Scourge, a part of the Scourge, back at western Lordaeron, which is the Threesoul Glades. As for Anetheron and Mal'Ganis, they are yet to be seen once more, although Mal'Ganis appears at the beginning of the scenario of the Broken Shore, or at the end of the scenario of the Broken Shore, when we assault the Broken Shore for the first time, and Anetheron is completely missing. I don't know. So, just before going on air, after a quick search, I remembered that Balnazar was actually killed during the Paladin campaign in an assault to the Netherlight Temple. It's the priest or the how, which is within the Twisting Nether. Don't ask me how or why, but Balnazar led an attack there, and the Knights of the Silver Hand arrived to help and killed him alongside all the other demons there. So Balnazar is dead for good. And as for Deathrock, I haven't played the Rogue Quest Order Hall, but it seems that the Rogues killed Deathrock, who was doing what Dreadlords do, was doing some manipulation and was about to start a war in between the Horde and the Alliance. So the Rogues managed to kill Balnazar in Azeroth, but he will then go back to the Twisting Nether, although there won't be any time, much time for him to, I don't know, recover his physical form in time for our assault on Argus. So that will leave Mal'Ganis and Anetheron MIA, I don't know, missing for that said Netherrazim Council. So there you go. And then, as the final boss of the patch, we have Argus the Unmaker, and there is an interesting theory about this one. Either this is a corrupted world soul by the immense fell energies, which has little sense because Sargeras went on to madness in order to destroy all of them before the Void Lords could consume them or corrupt them through the flesh behemoths known in Azeroth as the Old Gods. Or Argus the Unmaker is the actual soul of Sargeras under a placeholder, and this hypothesis is supported by what happened during the War of the Ancients. When the portal was destabilized, when Sargeras tried to pass through it, all of the demons were sucked in by the portal, and the backlash of it may have caused Sargeras to lose its physical form, thus explaining why Sargeras hasn't appeared so far. Remember that Sargeras himself killed Broxigar the Red. He was wielding an axe, a wooden axe bestowed with a blessing of Cenarius, and he was able to wound the Dark Titan, and there was a spell that involved that same wound that allowed the forces of Azeroth to counter Sargeras, and thus preventing him to come over to our side. So this would set a fitting end for the expansion, but also for the franchise as we know it. So I'm somewhat divided in between the two options. But now that I've read some more about it, the franchise still has a lot to go, and it seems that Sargeras will be put on hold, like just they did with the Lich King. So we're probably ending the Burning Legion, because there's already some text that said that Illidan will perform the ultimate sacrifice in being a jailer for the Burning Legion or for Sargeras, and the demons will probably just be gone, because probably the World Soul and the first option that I presented before is probably the one that they're going for. The World Soul is powering the demons and their souls, and by finishing it off will actually cause the demons to perish. But I don't know, because there was a problem that Sargeras was killing them and they were just reforming. I don't know which of the options they are going to use now. We'll see. As for the war, we're finally going to see Turalyon and Ilaria, and many other interactions with Khadgar, who fought with them during the Second War and on Draenor, with their son Arator, who's currently a Paladin follower with the option to be a bodyguard if you don't have a Paladin. I'd also love to see Sylvanas encountering our area. That would be awesome, but mainly that's it. Turalyon and our area disappeared mysteriously after the shattering of Draenor, causing it to be outland, leaving Arator behind in Honorhold at Hellfire Peninsula. They are either the leaders or part of a council that leads the Army of the Light, a combination of races that fight the Burning Legion across the stars. Either they're already on Argus or they will arrive there with us. On a final note, Argus will have 3 distinct areas by about the size of Egmonton if the 3 of them are joined. There will be new world quests, new artifact traits, tire sets, legendaries and even cosmetic weapons and sets, but also events where we will invade or prevent the Burning Legion to come to Argus across different worlds. Perhaps we will get a taste of some of the races that compose the Army of the Light and their homeworlds. That would be interesting. And well, there's still a lot of stuff that can change, so we will have to wait some more to see how the story will unfold itself. But so far it looks pretty promising. I'm looking forward to the continuation of the campaign, since we have the Followers campaign, actually not the Hoarders campaign. There's a continuation here in the patch 7.2. But the Broken Shore campaign, it sucks, man. I will probably post the quests, but they suck. There's no war there, and we have so much to learn on Argus. I can't wait to see them. So if you have anything to say or comment about the video or what we may expect for the patch 7.3, feel free to comment down below and I'll join in the conversation. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.